been a long time that I've been on, and I've been doing a whole lot of work, and guess what? I'm shooting blanks. I come up with an answer, but it's so complicated I can't seem to put it out. You see, the only thing I'm working with right now in this equation is the SGBCASMGHBTH. That stands for Spirit God of the Beta Woman, Female Son of God of Creation of the Angel, and the Spirit Man of God of the Heavens Birth. Total letter count, 88. On a backgammon dice, if you ever played backgammon, 2, 4, 6, 8. We double up to 64. Now, what does this all mean? Well, before there was 2, there was 1. That was God. Okay? Before there was the 2 beta, actually where it was, there was the 1 beta. So the 1 God and the 1 beta God got together and created 2 children. They are the 2 children. They're the 2 children. Okay? Let's call them Abraham. Each block is 25 years. Okay? You see, we have 6 blocks. We have 150 years. Okay? But we're not finished. Because alpha and beta, they work together. So the third line here, because God gets together with beta, and on the third line, okay, it doubles up to 1024. Now I could have made a mistake, and it could be 1024 where 512 goes, but I'm not sure right now because there's so many. There's many reasons for many switches. Okay, this may work in another idea, but may not work in this idea. And the reason for that is because where the 2 is normally in life, there's a 1 or a 0 because it's God, and we don't count them with anything, but everything is His. Okay. So what I do is I got A, B, C, D, E, F over here. So what I'm going to do is G, H, I, J. Okay, at I you have 512. Okay, so we're supposed to have 512 at I, but there's 2 I's. Okay, because A and B are both I's. Okay, we doubled up. That should be actually 1024. And on your computer, if you take a look, 1024 is where it ends. After that, it restarts. I don't know where the computer restarts, but on here, I'm going to continue. I continue to F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R. We go all the way to R, and we use the first 18 letters of the alphabet. 1 is spirit, 8 is the heaven, 8 and 1 is 9 is the birth. So by using the first half of the alphabet, or the first 18 numbers in roulette, we get 262,144. Now I know that means something, and I'm thinking 8 times 8. Let me calculate this at the same time I'm doing this video, if you don't mind that I move around a little bit. Okay, where's that calculator? Come on, Mr. Calculator. Oh, there you are. Now let me see. 8 times 8 is 64, times 8 is 512, times 8 is 4,096, times 8 is 32,768, times 8 is 262,144. 1, 2, 3, 4. We use 6 8s. Minus 6, we use 6 8s. We went up to 262,144 people in the world. Now what's funny about this, okay, is that the 26th letter in the alphabet, okay, is the Z for God. The 2 would be the beta of the 1 spirit of the 44 is space. Now I know you can't see my calculator, probably don't even understand. I haven't been out here for 3 days, and I've had so much work and so many numbers that click. There's so many numbers that come together. The number of time, 1,440 minutes creates 1 day. 144,000, they call the midway angels. Now I have a calculation somewhere in my book which puts together the 144,000 midway angels, irregarding the 1,440 minutes of time. It's a calculation that goes around this earth, that turns this earth into a glove. So in all actuality, I should be multiplying this by 8 again, okay, which would give me 2,097,152. And that number has to do with, I'm going to read it backwards, because backwards I get to put in my tic-tac-toe. 2097152. 2 is the 2 spirit in the 1 position. Saying it is the beta spirit in 1. The next one is the 5 spirit. Now that's the spirit that connects to everything. So now we have the spirit that connects to everything, and the two spirit is in charge. Usually it's the one God of spirit in charge. Now it's the two. So now we have to think. Cool. The one ball is yellow. The woman, beta, yellow yolk. That's what it's all about. So we have the two. Now in the creation part, we have the one, because it's the one God that created everything. But in the angel part, we have the seven, because God is angel. You see, every row of the tic-tac-toe, not only do the individual boxes tell you a story, but if you combine the boxes, it changes the story. If you use the box above and the box below, 147, let me see my phone. Oh, there's a star key in 147. I guess God created the heavens. The one spirit of the four angles, the four squares, he's inside. He's in the center. The spirit connects to both sides. It connects this side to that side. You got the one spirit. It's almost like putting a pen in the middle. There it is. I got interference. Whoop! No more interference. I'm in heaven. What am I, on Saturn, where we need no strings attached? Well, Saturn has moons. Mars has moons. Neptune has moons. Jupiter has moons. Saturn has moons. Saturn has 60 moons. Saturn, 3 rings. So somehow, okay, we must use Saturn, okay, the division of the angel, which brings in and out of Saturn. Saturn and Jupiter. I get so complicated. Between the two, there's 123 moons. Scratch my head. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. Jupiter and Saturn, JS, J10, S19, 29, 2 beta, 9 birth, but the 9 is in the 1 position. So that's a spirit 9 of the 2 beta birth, which in all actuality creates what? It's a story. I'm just trying to tell you that in each square there's a story. You see, in pool, 1 and 9 are yellow. There are 9 balls in the total to get to that 9 ball. Therefore, they fit into the first 9 positions of the tic-tac-toe. Therefore, they're the first 9 positions of beta. Because beta, to replicate herself, is yellow, she has to have a birth. So she is the 1 birth in this scenario. What replicates the birth? The heaven. We need the heavens to replicate the birth. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. I only counted 7. That's right. The 7 God promotes you to the 8th spot, which is Pluto. Pluto, planet 9, striped ball, right? 1, has no moons. On Mercury, solid ball, both yellow. Are you with me so far? The 5 ball is orange. Mars is red. Red and yellow on the 1 or the 9 make the orange. So therefore, it made the orange both ways. That means man has to be on which planet? Well, red and yellow would make Mars, planet 4, 4 for the angel. 2 beta and the 4 angel make Saturn 6, Jupiter. So that means the angels have to live on Jupiter, on Saturn. Okay, there's a spirit connect. Now, the reason I say that is because Mars is known to be the red planet of the green Martians. Green means life. Red is the spirit. So does that mean the angels live on Mars? They have 3 moons? Or do they live on Saturn of 60 moons? Very confusing. Jupiter and Saturn buried together. 123 moons equals 6. There's a lot of things you can do. And when you come to the end, if you just use that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you've got it all. Just learn how to use that. I've got 1,000,001 calculations here. I don't even know where to start. I wrote out about 75 pages. Oh my God. I'm working on how does 360 degrees work? How do we chop up the world going north-south? And how do we grab it? Well, it's not easy. No one ever said it's easy. I'm going to show you how we grab the world. By spirit. I have to go into another page. I'm going to show you spirit, and you show me how to grab the world, okay? Here's spirit. They also look like radio signals. Now, the easiest way to grab all the spirit and connect is to do that. See, now the corners, if you start in the top left to the bottom right, it means spirit birth. Bottom left, top right, it means creation. We do not have man or anything else. Now we add man, and we split that connection between top and bottom. We have to split the connection because on top we have beta. On the bottom we have God, so we have to hear the two stories. But wait, we have to understand the passing stories. That's the Israeli flag, you know. The Magen David Israeli flag is the actual flag that tells you that all the stories are getting connected. They don't show you. Have you ever seen this? Those two lines? Well, let me show you something. The way these two lines work is like this. Excuse me, I didn't do it right. You see, I take the Freemason sign, okay, I put the two ones in it, okay, to make 11, we have 1111. Now, there's a lot more in this than you actually see, because every time we make a creation, actually this shows up, the hourglass. Man is trapped in an hourglass over a period of time of 6,000 years, in which ABC, 25 years each, is 75, DEF is 75, GHI is 75. So we have GHI, so we ended God, heaven, and the birth. We have a total of 225 years, and now that we had God, heaven, and the birth, we have the earth. Now we extend it. We've used the dice, and now we extend it. How can I say this? Now we have to go multiples. You see, although people are dying and living, I already came up with two numbers. Now, I can't go back and tell you exactly what they are. One of them is 68 billion. The other is 42 billion. It's just so funny the way these two numbers come up. Because what are the number of people in this world right now? How many births have there been in the last 6,000 years? I'm really interested to know. Because this doubling up number is always supposed to give us an answer, because at the same time you double up, you take 5 degrees, 72 times around your clock, and you end up with 360 degrees. You do that east, west, north, and south, and then you'll get the exact figure of this cube. And right now, the exact figure of the cube, after using 18 numbers, is 262,144. Now, if we add just the numbers, simple numbers together, because God always wanted us to add the numbers. So 4 and 4 and 1 is 9 birth, 6, 2 and 2 is 10. Which can either be the heavens, or it could be man, it could be creation, or it could be the birth creation. Okay? So 26 is the letter Z, 21 is the letter U, 44 has no letter. So what we do with the 44 is we go around again. So take off 10 letters, so the 16th letter of the alphabet would be the letter P. Wow. P's a wicked number. P's the only number I have trouble figuring out. You know why? Because it's 16. 1 on the bottom of the dice, 6 on the top of the dice. The letter Y that splits us up and brings us between angel and man, 2 on the top of the dice, 5 on the bottom of the dice. That means we have 1, 3, 4, 6 going around. You see the top and the bottom, the north and the south, and 4 on the dice going around. That's all it is. It's tic-tac-toe. It's Rubik's Cube. This is our square. Okay? Now you have to really actually go down into the core. But it's so small in the core, I expand it, and then I get lost. Oh my God, I'm lost. Don't try to get lost. I just know that the time, the end time, September 21st is in 2 weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks, let's say. October, November 10th or 11th this year. And we're looking at 2014-15, the Jewish New Year of 5775, for the 75 years of the three spirits. What do you mean 75 years of the three spirits? Well, 19 is the number for spirit. Okay, S is 19. So 3 19s is 57. 5 and 7 is 12. 1 alpha, 2 beta. They're the ones who created it, for this the spirit. Beta, the one who created the spirit of our life. And God adds to it by connecting us to the matrix of the supertrain, or superverse. The Clydesdale of them all. The Budweiser tie. The bud is wiser. Well, the bud is what grew to grow in us. And the buds we smoke, well, that's just to help us to understand and see the story a little bit deeper in our minds. But there are those that are against the drug of marijuana, the drug that opens up the mind and lets you go for a ride. Well, let's go for a ride and see what's going on. For what's going on is the ride of our life. Have a nice afternoon. Thank you very much, Mr. TACPANS.